Taking control of our lives. That's what I want to talk about today. It sucks. God, it sucks so hard sometimes. I started this channel so I could find people like me willing to take the plunge and say fuck it on their own lives while also doing it myself. I went through a majority of the sucky parts on my own. Lots of introspection and lots of inner work for years. And I don't have all the answers. Honestly, I don't. There was a time that I wanted to be a robot. No emotions, no chaos, just work, and more work. And I don't know if anyone can relate to that, but that's how I avoided my life. I buried myself in productivity so I didn't have to feel anything. But I wasn't really being productive. I wasn't really being much of anything. And deep down, I hated myself for it for so long. But that's not living, right? That's living on autopilot, hoping that it would all go away. But my internal dialogue, my inner compass just kept screaming and getting louder and louder and louder. And while I've had some massive progress living intentionally over these last few years, up until like a month ago when I started this channel, I kept keeping myself busy thinking I was growing in my life while I let fear continue to hold me back. And it still does at times. I will be honest with that. It does. But that's not really living either. So my challenge to you and to myself is let's do this together. Let's start building a life with intention. Living every day intentionally, however that looks to you. Whether you're already started or you're brand new to this, let's fucking do this. Now, I've seen this in many videos, live intentionally, but like, what does that mean? What does that look like? How do you do that, right? So living with intention is making choices within your everyday life that are aligned with your goals and values you want for your new life or your life, currently. And it's not about letting the outside influences dictate what you do in your life. Being mindful of your actions, making decisions and knowing the purpose behind them, and knowing that you're making them based off of what you want and not what somebody else would want. And trust me, that last one is hard. I still struggle with that one sometimes too. But what's helped me before when I wanted to take back control was discipline. The same way I took control of my body through fitness, I know I can take control of my life too. It's making those easier said than done decisions and sticking to them. Having the discipline to wake up an extra hour early to work on your dream, or getting to the gym for 20 minutes, or eating at least 1 to 2 vegetables a day, no matter how big or how small, just making the decision and making it deliberate and following through with it. That's the biggest part. Keeping the promise to yourself that you're going to do this and sticking with it. So starting today, I'm declaring that we start building this new life, right? Laying the foundations for the future. But here's the frustrating part. It's still juggling the old life while trying to build this one. And it's the life that I know that isn't for me anymore, right? I can see this new version of my life so clearly. And I just want to work on it all day. But reality sets in and I still have to show up for everything else. And sometimes I get so angry in my day. I get so angry, like why can't I just be there already? But the more I do this work, the more I, work on myself, I realize that maybe I'm not quite the person that can hold a new life yet. There are still the blocks to release, habits to break, and lessons that I still need to learn. I saw this quote the other day and it said, "The universe makes us wait because within our waiting lies the alchemy of transformation. It is in the cocoon of patience and resilience that our true selves are refined and our aspirations take flight." I have listened to that quote so many times because the more I show up for myself and the more I just show up one small step at a time, the closer it gets. They say you're always closer than you think, and it's so true. You are one decision away from changing it all. This is all about becoming the energetic match for the life that's already waiting for you. It's already in the quantum field. The one that you dream of daily, the one that you deserve, it is waiting for you. Now, if you're not ready to look yourself in the mirror and say, what the fuck am I doing wrong with my life? Or, where can I improve? What can I do better? Then honestly, maybe this isn't the route for you. Because that's exactly what this kind of work requires. This isn't about hype. This isn't about green juices and just meditating. This is about heart and determination. There are going to be days that completely suck. Moments that break you down. Times when your why gets so blurry and you question everything. But if you've got that spark, that gut feeling that says, I can do this, then that's enough. Like you're there. And it's not about being perfect. It's about commitment, about remembering who you're becoming when everything around you feels so heavy and sometimes like nothing is changing at all, And I've seen this kind of change happen in my life in small ways, small wins adding up to some really great changes. But now I want to see what happens on a big scale, and not just for me, but for anyone willing to do the work. It is hard. It's messy. Sometimes it's really not fun, but it is worth every single second. Now, maybe you're just getting started. Maybe you're at your rock bottom, breakdowns, triggers constantly, walking through the fog you think will never end. It does. I promise you, it does. You just got to keep going. You just got to keep walking, even if you can't see. Or maybe you're kind of where I am. The fog's starting to lift, but now that means it's time to get focused. Fuck fear and just jump in. Out with the old, in with the new. Time to go all in, because why the hell not? Like, seriously though, it's your fucking life and we only get one. Now, if you've made it this far, clearly what we're doing before in our lives wasn't working, and I think you're possibly resonating. So it's time to pivot right where you are right now. It's not always about making these massive changes all at once. It's about the small wins that lead to the ultimate victory. Wherever you are, this is your push into the unknown. Your hand reaching out through the fog. You are not alone. We are doing this all together. Real people taking back control, living intentionally every day, no matter how hard it gets. I can't wait to see where we all end up. Comment below on what you're working on or any small wins, and thanks for listening. Bye.